Hello everyone, welcome back to the Arden Forest. Welcome back to the Belgian Grand Prix here in historic Spa. Round number hang on, what does the stream say? Round number 12 of the World Champion. That's not right, is it? Is it round number 13 or 12? Goodness gracious me. Whatever number it is time for some more ALR. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, you've got me tonight. Then is Knowles here is relaxing in Morocco somewhere. So yes, you have got me tonight, and unfortunately, you've got me tomorrow as well. Good heavens above that. But anyway, let's quickly get on with the show, shall we? And it is like this: too good to miss. It. We got no rain in qualifying like we did last night, did we? We still got multiplayer cars, which really upsets me. But hopefully EA, Codemaster, and whoever else is involved will get it sorted. In the Drivers' Championship, Brabant leads by 29 points from Dilando, who is now second. Remember, Dilando was the early pace setter in this championship, but it's gone a bit peak-tong for the Alfa Romeo driver. Tango in third position, 40 points away from the championship leader at the moment. Only 11 now away from Dilando. Far of incredible pace on racecraft this year in fourth position at the moment. Uh, but he is 30 points away from the top three. Pot Stuff, who was missing for the next couple of races in fifth, and Dopey Lemons is sixth, and on 49, 45 for Irvine. Dan is on eighth position on 42. I got a real bad indigestion. Jinner in ninth position on 41 points, along with Ultimate Beast also on 41 as well. Sweet on 35, 32 for his teammate Ewok Jr. Gordo is also on 32 as well in 13th. Mumford in the McLaren there in 14th on 28, 25 for Mr. Elite, 24 for Craigar, and Reflection 16th and 17th in the championship. V Todd in the relegation zone at the moment there on 19 points, but he had a big score last time out, didn't he? For V Todd, can he build on that? Camera Racer on 9 points. Chappie, the newest driver in silver, unfortunately has got no points at the moment, and unfortunately has got issues logging in tonight, so that is a shame. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads by a very slender margin of 4 points from Alfa Romeo, then a massive 43 points back from the Alfa Romeo team as the Aston Martin. Alpine are in fourth position. The Haas team are 4 points away from the Alpine in fifth. Then we have McLaren 106 points away from the leaders, 33 away from the Haas team. Ferrari on 89 points, and then Red Bull on 83 points. Very nip and tuck between McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull. Usually we see those teams at the top of the standings, but it's just mid-table in silver. Williams are in ninth, and of course they're doing really well in gold, but in the silver championship, only ninth. And AlphaTauri, last season's Constructors' Champions, once again, same story. They are really struggling this season for season 9 of ALR. Oh, goodness me. Right, right, I've done my old shtick with the championship then, so let's have some fun, shall we? You're just watching Jinner. The bronze champion. There he is there. Lovely car livery there for Jinner, who is in the Haas car. It is in the Haas, isn't he? Of course, so we've got to use multiplayer cars, which is really upsets me. Hopefully we get something sorted out with the multiplayer car soon. I was hoping for an update by now, to be fair. Not, I really was hoping, I do hope, don't I, so far for this pink machine. I'm looking for someone who's just come across the line. It's Craigar. Currently, he's had a podium this season, Craigar, hasn't he? He had a great result back in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, didn't he? But unfortunately, apart from that, for Craigar, he hasn't had much to really write home about, has he, in this season for silver. Gordo in the comments. Rain is between 15 and 30 minutes into the rain. Rain is going to happen in this race. Unclear when. I have no idea where to go wing-wise. I was about to comment. I can't hear you, but that's because my tablet was on mute. Haha. Thank goodness for that, then, Gordo, because I would have had a little bit of a scare there. Because, yeah, we all know about my problems with all the audio and stuff. I'm just watching Craigar in the AlphaTauri there at the moment. And this is not start here this season then for Craigar, as we just drop it down there. It's like a roller coaster, isn't it? This circuit, I just hear Roland Keaton in my ear every time I'm on board with a driver. It's absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. Of course, if anyone doesn't know who Roland Keaton is, either I'm too old or you're too young. potentially, or maybe I've better taste in music. But how can you say that Boyzone is not a good genre of music? Craig R, second sector at 114 then. In terms of milestones tonight then, let me get me old spectacles out and have a look then. I don't think anyone's got any milestones to really write home about, have they? Really, no one's got the magical 10th or something like that kind of thing, have they? Like, you know, if they haven't got a magical 50 or 60 or something like that. Craig are resting that car coming out of the bus stop chicane, which is not a bus stop anymore. It's across the grid, Hatchins there to put a first time on the board. It's a 43.646 then from Craig R. Of course, last night's gold race, we had an incredible battle in the final stages, and I'm hoping we get something similar tonight in silver as well. And silver has produced some incredible races. Last week was a bit was entertaining to say the least, wasn't it? Did we have how many safety cars did we have in the end? And we had quite a lot, didn't we? As the Haas driver of Jenner going second, fastest at the moment. Of course, the bronze champion. We've got two bronze champions in the field, haven't we? You know, in silver, of course, we have this man here, Jenner, the most recent bronze champion from season 5 last season. I think he's really accommodated himself very nicely in silver. He really has indeed, Jenner. Has shown plenty of speed, hasn't he, over the course of the season, has Jenner, but he has been quite unlucky as well as Camera Racer, who's also shown plenty of speed there, getting a pole position, and earlier on this season, he's got 2 pole positions in his career now, has Camera Racer won the season before, whenever he was last in here. Dopey Lemons in the, I think it's Alfa Romeo, it is the Alfa Romeo now, I'm just not very good. Dopey Lemons in 4th position, V Todd, great result last time out. Sweet has retired from the session. That's because Sweet has not changed his multiplayer car. Delando, of course, the man who's second in the championship, the other bronze world champion in this field, currently is having a bit of a rough patch at the moment. Well, I say a rough patch. So he didn't score any points in Hungary, but he did get a podium in Britain and the win in the feature race in Austria. No, it's not the feature race, is it? It's a Grand Prix, goodness me. Vitard is down to 8th now, so I haven't finished my monologue yet, have I? We've got Mr. Elite there, as just coming out of the last source. Farf going at 4th fastest there in the pink machine. We got Tango going 2nd fast in the Aston Martin. Aston Martin's a 2nd and 3rd then. Of course, Cameron's got the speed, hasn't he, over one lap, but can he get that car to the finish line? That has been the Achilles heel for Camera this season, as there only 9 points there, and for a man of his speed then I think he'd be disappointed with that. Then here comes Irvine in the McLaren. Of course, every old Formula 1 fans would think that will be thinking that I've kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed there. Irvine in the McLaren, goodness gracious me. However, in ALR world, that our Irvine is driving the McLaren team and not in the Ferrari or the Jordan or the Jaguar. Irvine 6th fastest at the moment. Brabbitt has gone fastest overall then. Of course, Brabbitt, of course, is leading the World Championship now. Whatever happens here tonight, Brabbitt will still be leading the championship, and he's on pole position at this moment in time. Remember, this is short quali, which is standard stuff, isn't it, for silver and bronze, like we got tomorrow night. However, what isn't standard is we've got a sprint race about 8 laps long before we get onto the Grand Prix itself. And so a lot of racing action here tonight. Then in our 3rd sprint event of the season, and we've got another 3 to go at this sprint. Then we've got one in a couple of weeks actually in Italy. No, we haven't got one in Italy, have we? Goodness gracious me. Where have we got one in Italy? No, I don't think we have. We've got one in Qatar, one in USA, and one in Brazil after this one. So yes, I've been speaking absolute boulder dash last night, didn't I? Anyway, Brabbitt is currently on pole position at the moment. I was just taking a look to see where Brabbitt has had a pole position before, and he has had a pole position before, back in the Emilia Romagna. I don't know why they're all getting me to say it tonight. Shocking behaviour. Into the pits comes Craig R. Currently, we have had 15 drivers set a time so far. They are Mumford is the slowest time runners, down in 15th position in the McLaren Mercedes. Golden Wolf making his 2nd appearance in ALR, his debut tonight in silver. Did a very good account of himself last night in gold, I must say. So hopefully he can build on that. Golden Wolf then, who is currently in silver tonight. Then good luck to him then, and of course, and the reason why, because he also said that he enjoyed the stream as well. Then, as you can tell, if you bribe me, if you bribe me, then you're always going to be on my nice side, aren't you? Goodness gracious me. Good job ALR has got an anti-bribery thing, haven't they? Otherwise, people would be in absolute hot water, wouldn't they? it's not like Novelty bought me a big old bar of chocolate last Christmas. Absolutely fantastic. And by the way, I ate it all in almost by the city there, but that's because I am a man of a wide load. Into the final bus stop chicane comes V Todd, and he is carrying on with this lap there. And he's done a harvest, he's going to go again then, and this is the second time around on these soft tyres. It's a long lap around there. This is the longest circuit on the Formula 1 calendar, with 19 turns, and there are so many legendary turns around here as well, as we're approaching one of them now into Eau Rouge and Radion. A lot of course, unfortunately, over the past couple of years, this corner has caused unfortunately 2 fatal incidents, hasn't it? Which is too many. Unfortunately, it's the barrier, I think, on the right-hand side, which is the problem, isn't it? Well, certainly was a problem in that horrific race. Was it Formula? V Todd in the wall, and goodness me, and that was very unusual. He was on board, he looked in control, but he's just got into the barrier, and V Todd is out of qualifying, and that is a major blow for V Todd, who was hoping to really get himself. Yeah, he had a snap of oversteer, didn't he? As I've watched the replay. Well, I've basically just watched the stream. Good job. It's about 20 seconds behind. But yeah, V Todd had a snap for oversteer. I'm sure Charles Leclerc had a similar thing in practice one season, didn't he? But goodness me, we don't see many drivers crash up there at the top of Lake Com there. But that's unfortunate. Here's Reflections now. Reflections, good result last time out. Got 5th position, I believe, for Reflections there, and made his way onto 24 points now. Reflections as rain in 15, so won't hit. Gordo is saying, and rain is coming in this session. Tango is saying, goodness me, Gordo think there's rain coming, but it's not going to hit there. Whilst Tango is saying that there is rain afoot. Then, my golly gosh, at the moment there's beautiful sunshine out here at the moment. There, I'm not surprised there's rain around this, because this is well, actually I am surprised because Farfus not hosting, is he? When he does host, it always gets a bit wet out there, doesn't it? Reflections on a lap now then, as we're on board now with Reflections in the Mercedes. Just tackling it. Who's that just got up the order? I think that was Jenner, wasn't it? He's got up in the 4th, but Brabbitt still on pole, finished by 2/10 of a second from Delando in 2nd and Tango in 3rd, and Jenner 4th and Cameron 5th. Remember what happened last night? Troy got pole position there, but then Percy took the lead and absolutely dominated the sprint race, didn't he? So let's see how this one goes here tonight. Then, of course, getting a run up through the Kemmel Straight up to Lacombe is very much maybe the preferred option. Then Reflections taking a very acute angle into the bus stop chicane there before accelerating away, going across the grid, hatching down straight line in 5th pass for Reflection there. That is mighty impressive there for Reflections. Here comes Kaya. Here comes Kaya. Oh, Kai, I'm going to say that is now just coming into the bus stop chicane as well, and then coming into the pit there. So unfortunately for the reserve driver, having a couple of pushes then, so he hasn't been able to complete his time. However, Dan, let's see what he can do here in the Alpha Tauri with a default car there for Dan. So I have a feeling that he has never decorated his car, has he? To be honest, I would have been the same as well, but we all know I love a bit of pink, so my car is basically, my multiplayer car is basically bright pink. I really hope we get official cars sooner or later then. It's a bit of a shambles really, isn't it there? I must say I am quite laid back on a lot of things, but one thing I'm not laid back on is as how they've ruined the equal performance, not once but twice on this game then. It's pretty shocking there. Dan's gone 14 fastest there. Let's see, he's got 5.5 minutes to go, so he's got plenty of time to improve if he wants to come into the pits and get a fresh set of boots and go out again. We've got Mr. Elite, who's a 10th down in the first sector there, so that's not good there for Mr. Elite if he wants to improve. Mumford has improved dramatically. He's gone up to 2nd fastest. Delando's back in the pits, and Brabbitt has gone 65 seconds. Goodness gracious me, he'd be in a different world, wouldn't he? Brabbitt is now 2.5 tenths up in the second split time here for Brabbitt, calls the championship leader. I think he finished 4th in last season's championship, or 5th, didn't he? So Brabbitt was definitely one of the drivers that was certainly the bookies' favourites there to certainly challenge for the title this season. Delando has very much made a good fist of things, hasn't he? But but Brabbit is now starting to really come into his own here, and he's into the 41s, well into the 41s there. Goodness gracious me, good heavens there, 3 tenths of a second up, and my goodness me, he's in a different time zone at the moment, Brabbit is there. He's already gone to the Dutch Grand Prix. He is so far in front. Mumford in second there. What is the other drivers got in response? And here is Tango there out of Puyol then, and not letting the car run too wide at all. Yellow flag is just up the road. Then his one car has gone off it. Is Stabilo, I think it is. So is Tango's car looking very understeery there. He's 4 tenths of a second up though, the Aston Martin driver is. But staying well on the outside there is a car cruising, and hopefully they've seen him. They have seen Tango, and what was that? I'm sure that was a bit of polystyrene there. I don't think it was any debris, but goodness me, that was certainly not would have helped with it. Now we're now into the bus stop chicane now, and let's see what Tango has got in his locker. Accelerates away, controlling the wheel spin beautifully well for the Aston Martin driver across the line, second fastest, and a whisker away from Brabbit, and he's on the front row of the grid here for the sprinter course. Great stuff indeed there. I thought Brabbit's time would have been very much well outside of anyone's limit, but my goodness me, how wrong was I? Great time indeed there for Tango, found half a second there. Craig R is invalidated. I think unfortunately all he's found is track limits on that run. He's back in the pit lane now. Outlaps for Irvine, for Camaro, who's just starting his lap, then Jinner, and we've also got Delando out there as well. We're keeping an eye on them, but we're going to stick with Camaro for the minute. He's already been pole sitter this season there with the lovely Nicky Lauda-esque helmet there for Camaro Racer then in the Aston Martin. And if anyone ever seen Nicky Lauda testing the Jaguar once upon a time, then you'll get flashbacks from 2002. Magnificent, isn't it? That's certainly what I was getting when I was looking at Camaro Racer head on there just a moment ago. Alto last source set, riding the exit curve quite nicely indeed. Apologies Tango, I was out of view if I affected your last sector. So so it was Gordo that was having the issue there. Luckily for the multiplayer cars and for the drivers potentially, it's much more difficult to tell who's who, isn't it, really? So we didn't see who it was struggling there, but Gordo has owned up to it, which he's a better man than me, because I certainly would have owned up to it. Camaro Racer just coming out of Lake Commons one, and now he comes down the hill as this is a great circuit, it really is indeed there. I must say it is one of my favourite circuits on all of the Formula 1 calendar. Absolutely love this there, and as much as I don't like the sprint, it is an absolute joy to commentate on 2 races for the price of 1 tonight. Magnificent indeed, isn't it? And Nosey, I'm sure, is going to be absolutely devastated he's missing this one, as he is enjoying sunning himself in Morocco. Tango's out of qualifying, so that's it for Tango. The highest he's going to be is second on the grid. That is a very good front row start there, and he would love to get a slipstream on Brabbit there. Brabbit's in the pit lane at the moment with 90 seconds to go. Brabbit's out of qualifying as well, so Brabbit cannot improve. So the front two on the grid then cannot improve their time set, so it's all or nothing now for the rest there. We have still got time if you've got fuel and tyre set to go across the line and start another lap. Camaro goes up into 4th. Great time indeed for the Aston Martin driver down there. So is Aston 2nd and 4th. Mumford across the line to start his lap now, but I think I'm going to keep an eye on the 5th place man. Is this man here? Is Delando, who's 2nd at the moment in the championship. He is currently 5th on in the classification there. I think that is far just exploring the outer limits of the track there. Hopefully he is just seeing rather than preparing. Dylan into bus stop chicane as well. The beautiful Alfa Romeo livery there for Delando, who's been the lead driver for Alfa Romeo, going third fastest there for Delando. He is a third on the grid, and that might be perfect opportunity there for Delando to maybe do a slipstream up to Les Combes then. So that is going to get very interesting. There's a car who's just appeared out of nowhere there. Oh, my word, Jitter, who is Up in 6, one of Ginner's just finishing off his lap. Dopey Lemons wandering off the circuit, so something's gone wrong now for Dopey Lemons. Just watching reflection, he's very much in the heart of the midfield. But that's a very good time now from reflection. What has he got left in this Mercedes? Checker flag is fluttering in the beautiful Belgian breeze tonight. Golden Wolf 17th, Kaz is 18th. First, second have been locked down. Their reflections does not improve. He's at the limit of the Mercedes. He finishes 9th in the end there for reflections. He is in the top 10 now. A good opportunity then. Here's Vessier, by the way. I didn't mention Vessier, shockingly enough. We've only got 2 Ferrari. We've not got none of the full-time Ferrari drivers there. Vessier's reserving tonight across the line. And Vessier goes 11th fastest there. This could be a peek into the future then with Vessier doing so well in bronze then potentially. So we keep an eye on that. Mumford out of the final turn, and Mumford's second time is very good. What about his final time? He's 5th in the end. Found a 10th for a second, but he stays on row 3 along with Camaro Racer there. And I'm looking for a car who's I think just coming out of the bus stop chicane there. Who am I looking for? Who's that off? That's Mr. Elite then off at Puyol there, and unfortunately for Mr. Elite, that is his time done and dusted then. So Mr. Elite is going to be 14th on the grid then for the Belgian Grand Prix. Sorry, for the sprint. I forgot there's a sprint then. Farfan validated his time now, the cheeky monkey. So unfortunately for Farfan, he is going to be 10th in the end now. Oh dear, oh dear. What about Craigar? What has he got? He's got a 10th for a second. Then he's found then Craigar 12th fastest out, improved there by a position. Gordo is just moved up to 10th. I was seeing Gordo. I was looking for Gordo. He is now up into a very fine 10th position in that Red Bull car. Dopey Lemons is in the pits. What about Irvine? Irvine's just backing off as well. Mr. Elite, unfortunately, having issues as well. So, at the end of that fracas, it is pole position now for Brabant, and that is pole position number 2 of the season for Brabant. Magnificent stuff indeed, and that is his first pole position since the Amalia Romero Grand Prix. Good stuff indeed there for Brabant, and I think that's also his second all-time pole position as well. Very good stuff indeed there. So Brabant then getting his second pole position tonight, then that's the perfect way to start the Belgian sprint event. Now, lovely jump indeed. However, I'm not sure if that's the most, he's not sure if that is the happiest of grid positions to be in now for this one. Tango just confirmed that Gordo as well out of the way then, so so he was following that, and he doesn't want to be on pole anyway, does he, Tango? Considering I messed up, I'll take that, Gordo is saying then. So good stuff indeed. And we've got a couple of we've had a bit of Boyzone, now we've had a bit of Take That, fantastic stuff here tonight. Then a bit some musical, some old school boy bands then, of which probably no one cares about, but there you go. I'm just showing my awful taste in music. Brabant pole position then, but as we heard from Tango, he may not be too disappointed by missing out on pole position. So Brabant for second pole position of his career and of the season, with Tango second, Dilando in third position. Then the 2 McLarens 4th and 5th. This is going to get very tasty for the sprint then. 8 laps are to come then here in Spa. Well, it's an absolutely beautiful day out here, isn't it, in the Ardennes Forest, which very unusual really for Spa, isn't there? However, we always associate Spa with of course a lot of rain and rain affected races. But remember in 1984, I think that the Belgian Grand Prix was cancelled, wasn't it, or delayed till later on in the season because it was so hot and the track began to break up there. I always remember that because Martin Brundle used to brought that up one time in a qualifying session, which I found absolutely astonishing. We've had a lot of incredible races over the season, not just in ALR, but in real world of Formula 1 as well. Of course, you can forget the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix, where we had that awful smash there. We had 2 pretty horrific shunts there to start off the 98 Belgian Grand Prix, and of course, I can't remember. It was like 12 cars involved. It was 10 or 12 cars involved, wasn't it? In the first sprint, in the first race, and in the second one, it was Hakkinen and Johnny Herbert, wasn't it? And unfortunately, that was such a shame indeed. And of course, Damon Hill went on to win his final Grand Prix win of his career. I think it's the 22nd Grand Prix win of his career for Damon Hill. Jordan's first ever Grand Prix win, and he also got a 1-2 as well. And another team that did that got a 1-2 on their first Grand Prix win, which was Red Bull, wasn't it, as well? Of course, Red Bull just clinched their 6th Constructors' Championship, haven't they? Whilst I think Jordan only ever won another 3 Grand Prix, didn't they, in their career? But Jordan, that's one thing I do miss about Formula One is we don't have any of those plucky midfield teams that kind of thing. Unfortunately, Formula One is not really the place for that anymore. Like a Jordan in the midfield, is it, or like a Sauber or something. I know Sauber's still in it then, but they're a completely different team. Well, it's not a completely different team actually. So maybe I'm doing them with just service. But of course, Sauber was backed quite heavily by Red Bull back then. Right. Anyway, enough about that. And me reminiscing on yesteryear. We have got Gordo on the soft, Golden Wolf on the soft as well. Everyone else is on the medium. So we just got Brabant there going through Puyong as well. What was the one where Schumacher hit the back of Coulthard, or was that the other way around? I don't know. It was yeah, of course, Schumacher at the back of Coulthard, because Coulthard eased off the throttle, didn't he, to let Schumacher through, because Coulthard was about a lap or 2 down at that stage, wasn't he? That was the 98 Belgian Grand Prix. An incredible race that was. That's how Damon Hill went on to win that race. An incredible race as well. I'm not sure if it's still on YouTube actually, but but it was a cracking race to watch then. I wouldn't say we don't watch the whole thing, because there was a big old delay, wasn't there, after the opening start. And goodness gracious me, as Kaz has got an issue with his wheel at the moment. That is a big blow for Kaz, and he was about to start this race, but he's down in 18th. That's a technical problem there, unfortunately. You said Troy got pole yesterday. He didn't make your mind up. He didn't make your mind up. Laugh out loud, but insane. I thought Troy got pole yesterday. Did he not get pole? Or am I away with the fairies? I think I am. I'm sure he got pole position yesterday. Or who didn't get pole? I don't know. Sugar. Brabant on pole. Brabant's on first. Second position is Tango. Delando in third. Irvine fourth. Mumford fifth. Camero sixth. Jinner, the bronze champion, seventh. Dopey in 8th position, Reflections 9th, Gordo in 10th position, Farf in 11th, 12th is Dan, 13th Craigar, Vestier, current bronze racer in third and second in bronze, and is 14th on the grid tonight. And Mr. Elite V Todd, Golden Wolf and Kaz, technical gremlins already for Kaz, Kaya, and then we got Sweet at the back of the grid then, with the Devon Butler owned car, which I hope you've all played the Breaking Point. I certainly did then. As just waiting to get going now then for the start of the sprint then. And we are just waiting for those lights to come. Oh no, we had this go here for the sprint. It's short action here in the Baltic Grand Prix. And Brabant goes into turn 1. Who's up the inside? That's Dylan going up the inside already. Of course, and this is what happened to Troy. And there's Debris. There's a car completely lost his whole wing there at the back of the field. I didn't see who it was, and it was one of the, I think it might have been Dan, you know, then. And now coming out of La Source and over Radio then, and now we're going for Slipstream as well then. And Dylan's going for it. He's having a look, then he's alongside the Caddy outbreak Brabant. And this is important in the championship. They're going up into turn Lacombe as well. Jinner out of the race. There's a further C, and he's gone off in I'm not sure how that's happened. He's gone off in a straight line there, but there's chaos at the back. Rumble Rakaya in 19th position there. Oh my goodness gracious me. Safety car out then as Brabant then currently has survived the start, and with Dilando in second and Tango in third position there. Dan is getting all kinds of penalties out there at the moment, isn't he? Goodness gracious me. Oh gosh, so just got a safety car at the moment. Serious Russian 96, I think Schumacher hit Coulthard. I think it was 98, wasn't it, though? Because 96, what happened in 96 in Belgium? Not a lot, to be fair. I think did Michael Schumacher win this race in 96? I think he did he? I can't remember. He won 3 races in 96, Schumacher did, but I'm sure that was this one of them. I think it was. I can't remember what happened in the 96 Belgian Grand Prix at all. Goodness me. But yeah, I'm sure it was 98 where he hit the back of Coulthard. 96, I think not much happened in the Belgian Grand Prix that year, unless I completely got a brain fart moment. I said his pole counted. He had it for sprint, and you said it doesn't count. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, yes. So if you get pole position in qualifying, no, if you get first in qualifying, then that counts as pole position. Then, of course, if you win the sprint, that doesn't count as pole position if you get the cut of my jib. That's a sprint win. That's how I'm going by it anyway. If you get that then. That will help me on softs. Gordo was saying in terms of getting safety car. We've got a couple of drivers in the pits and looked like a messy start in last source. And Dopey in the pits and he's lost the whole of the front wing. Then we've got Dan in as well. So Dan does have it all win there. I apologise profusely. Kaz has got technical gremlins. Hopefully he's not coming to retire here for Kaz. And as you can see, there's a horrible dip there for the Ferrari. He is changing tyres now, and I'm wondering if all the drivers come in the pits and go on to the soft tyres now. Then, but 4 drivers into the pits. They're just on board Brabham at the moment. Then at the top of the hill, then as Brabham leads the way. Then this is perfect for Brabham. He currently leads the World Championship, and can he extend it now? Remember that Percy looked quite peerless in the sprint last night, but then in the race itself we had an action-packed Grand Prix in the last station. We've got a safety car out then for the sprint at the moment. We're on lap 2 out of 8 then, so it's a short, sharp race then to get us on our way, or to get the juices flowing for the Grand Prix itself then. So this is kind of a mini warm-up then, isn't it, so to speak then. However, the only difference is then that we have still got however, of course, this still means points set. Top 8 get points then in the sprint, which is Brabham on 8, far from 1 at the moment, down in 8th position. Dan has got all kinds of penalties at the moment. He's got another 5-second penalty. In terms of tyres, and Craig went on to mediums, Dopey Lemons on softs, and along with Kaz and Dan also on softs as well then. So that is the tyre situation at the moment then. At the moment, we're just on board with Brabham now then. I don't think Brabham has ever won a sprint race, has he? Just taking a look. I apologise, he has won a sprint race. Oh no! And Kaya has got a 5-second penalty for going into the back of. Was that Sweet? I think it was Sweet there in the Williams there. So that's a 5-second penalty. I don't think the safety car will be in this lap, so he might be able to come to the pits. And if he needs to, get rid of that 5-second penalty. You lose track position, Kaya would, but he might. But at least that's a free pit stop, isn't there? But that is not what you want to see under the safety car, unfortunately. Brabham's still in the world, but Brabham going for his second sprint race win of his career. Then he is racing all 6 sprint races as silver so far, isn't he? So going for his second now. The other drivers on the grid who have won a sprint race in their silver career was Ultimate Beast, and who's not here tonight, and of course Potstuff, who's also not here either. So basically Brabham is the only driver in this field then who's actually won a sprint race there. So Brabham at the moment going for 2 for 2 tonight then. It's still multiplayer cars there, unfortunately, from Moomin. Unfortunately it is, it's a bit rubbish to be honest. I could moan about that forever and a day. However, we haven't got forever and a day. We've only got another hour of racing left then before well, about that, give or take, depending on how action-packed the Grand Prix is going to be, and how action-packed this sprint's going to be as well, to be fair. But well, we haven't got an endless loop in time, have we? Now, I'm not Doctor Strange, or I do look a bit strange, and of course, my hands do shake as well. But that's mainly because I just get too excited when I watch these drivers tackle this incredible race circuit. Magnificent. You know what I've done? Unfortunately, I haven't topped up my orange squash. It's because I'm not usually in the box on Monday. I'm normally watching Nosey from the comfort of my sofa. Got a bit of popcorn in one hand. In the other hand, let's keep this clean. In the other hand, I've got a probably Coke or something like that. Coca-Cola, I should probably say. But yes, but tonight I am on duty. Well, I'm trying to anyway, because I don't know why. I don't know why Mondays I always seem to be in a very funny mood. That's why Knowlesy didn't want to do comments on Monday, wasn't it? Really, you wouldn't get any information at all, would you? But of course, unfortunately, Knowlesy had no choice tonight, unless you wanted Firefog comms as well. Which I must say, actually, I enjoyed Firefog comms in Canada for gold. I really enjoyed that. I do need to sort out my setup if we want to do code comms, which I was about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, wasn't it? Goodness me, I need to sort my stuff out. Movement. And Gordo, I saw us seen you in the Anfield Agendas live stream with Craig. I'm certain it was you, laugh out loud. And hi guys, I hope you're well. Then we're very well, moving. I hope you're well indeed. It's silver. There's 2 hours left. Then you're not wrong there, Mushroom. Is that now then the safety car is, and then if we do have 2 hours left, then I say more the merrier, which means that I can then complain forever and a day about these multiplayer cards. Don't get me wrong, I like multiplayer cards, but when we're in a proper championship, which is meant to be official 2023 cards, it is a bit rubbish. And to be honest, the multiplayer card, the only other time I like to see a multiplayer car is usually when drivers do some liveries from the past, and maybe a Jordan, maybe a Jaguar, and that would be pretty cool. Brabbit has gone, I believe, and he's gone very late, to be fair, hasn't he, Brabbit has there. A lot of controversy surrounding the safety car starts last week there, but that was a lot better there. Halfway through the sprint now, and it is Brabbit who's taken off there fantastically well. No DRS until the end of lap 5, beginning of lap 6. So Brabbit has already got 8/10 of a second out, then Dopey Lemons has already passed Kaya. Oh, look at that then on the outside there. There goes Dopey Lemons there. Great stuff indeed. Can Kaya get back past Dopey Lemons? It looks like Dopey Lemons may have the advantage there. He does have the advantage. Kaya's off the circuit, and he's going. He just about keeps it out of the barrier there. Good heavens above that. Certainly would have woken the driver up there as he's recovering. Then we've also got Golden Wolf, who has I think he's lost out to Vestia by the looks of things. A sweet M14 position as well. My goodness gracious me, that certainly would have woke Kaya up. Good gosh there. Brabbit now has got a second advantage over Dilando with in second position, Tango in third, then Tango trying to keep up with the front two. Irvine in fourth position, all over the back of Tango, who Camero's also all over the back of Irvine as well. It's Aston Martin third, McLaren fourth, Aston Martin fifth, McLaren in sixth position. Good heavens above, there we go, Constructors Battle Royale in the battle for the final podium place in this sprint. And Irvine are tackling that chicane beautifully. Wow. We got but looks like Mumford is struggling to keep up. Gordo on those soft tyre. Whoa, as Gordo there getting very tail happy there. Now the Farf is on the prowl. There he is in the background. Farf in the mean pink machine there. Of course, it's not the green fighter machine. That is Camaro and Tango fifth and third at this moment in time there. And now that is Gordo, is he going to have a look there? Not quite there. But this has definitely helped any drivers that start on the soft tyres, which is Golden Wolf and Gordo. They're going to be grinning from ear to ear, I'm sure, because, of course, that safety cars really have those soft tyres. They're going to be quick. They're safe scenes, but I do think they're going to be able to still be quick at the end of this one. Remember last night the soft tyres did do quite a good number of laps, so I think they shouldn't fall off the cliff towards the end of the race then, but I think the medium tyres will be the preferred tyre in the next couple of laps or two, I would have to guess. Well, we've only got a couple left, haven't we? Goodness me. It's got very overcast. Reflections is off the circuit there, and unfortunately, Reflections, who is very much in the heart of the top 10, is off the circuit. He is recovering now, and Reflections, unfortunately, at the top of Radion. I can't see if he's got wing damage there. We're not sure. Yes, that's the whole of the wing got off the Mercedes there. So Reflections, incredible qualifying here in the sprint, has come to nothing there. And that is a big blow for the Mercedes driver, who's on a high after a great performance in Hungary last week then. And I don't think Kaya deserves that 5-second penalty. That's a bit harsh there, isn't it, for Kaya? Hopefully that don't cost him any positions there later on. Well, the motor is costing him, but I think Reflections does need to come into the pits. So just watching Camaro, who is currently in fifth position. We have got Irvine, who is the fill-in in that Aston Martin sandwich, but then again, Camaro is the fill-in in the McLaren sandwich as well. And there's Gordo also in the party as well, and Farfish joined as well. Mr. Elite a second at the moment, and he is outside of DRS range. Just to say that he has jumped into DRS. Camaro looking very unsteady there. Now that is going to be music to Mumford's eyes, and you don't really play music for your eyes, do you? But let's just keep going with that, I reckon. Here is Mumford then, a campaign veteran in ALR. He's been driving majority of his career in gold then. Is now applying his craft in silver, and I think he's done a great job. Farf and Gordo are getting very cozy at the bus stop, and goodness me, and almost causing issues with each other. They're going across the line. We're on board with Farf now. A Grand Prix winner in silver, Grand Prix winner this season as well, and Mr. Lee having to take a face of action there, as I'm not sure he missed his braking point now if these drivers are braking too early. DRS DRS is now enabled. Dilando is 6/10 of a second away, 5/10 of a second away. We're on board with Mumford at the moment, as he is now lined up Camaro, and he is now alongside Camaro. Has got DRS, but he cannot defend. And there's Irvine on the outside of the Camel Straight. He is in third position. 3 laps to go in this one. Great stuff indeed. Brilliant stuff for the McLaren team. So both McLarens are doing a number on both Aston Martins there. Farf and Gordo has swapped positions again. Then Farf would like to get past Gordo. I think the soft tires maybe screaming here. Look at Farf. He's got so much more pace in that Alpine. He's all over the gearbox now, that Red Bull, as they come out of the corner with no name. Then drop it down into Puyol. Puyong. As it is Puyong. There it is. Puyong. And Puyong going on that exit curve then. I remember on the old games, I used to hate going over that exit because I used to think I was going to get spat off and into the scenery. Who is that into the scenery? That's Camera Racer into the scenery, and he's off the circuit. Farf is almost going into him there. Camera is lost out badly here, and he is going to be feeling very vulnerable now because Mr. Elite is going to be all over his gearbox. Farf is all over Gordo's gearbox. Gordo's got no DRS as well. Look at that. Gordo's got no pacer. And going on the outside of Blanchemont here. And Gordo there. And Gordo there is going to have to let Farf go. Farf through there. And of course, the Max Verstappen maneuver there for Farf on the outside through Blanchemont. Replay that from 2015. Fantastic. I can't remember who Max Verstappen's overtaken. Was it Ericsson or something? Potentially. Mr. Lee and Vessier. Vessier doing a great job in silver tonight. Isn't he? Goodness me. Doesn't look out of place whatsoever. Does he? The bronze Grand Prix winner, the bronze veteran as well. He's doing a great job in bronze this year, doing a great job in silver as well. Now he's all over the back of Mr. Elite. This is not for points yet. Then the second to last lap, we're on the penultimate lap in Gordo. No, sorry, it's Mr. Elite. Then he's somehow kept it going. That's incredible car control for Mr. Elite. Farfy's got past. Mumford is past as well, or is he then? Because Tango's coming back out of that contact, and Mumford almost spin off there, and he just about kept the car going. Somehow Gordo is back in front of Farf and probably through to DRS, and look at that, then the Aston Martin is defending, very defending as hard as he does. Tango is, and Irvine's out of DRS range of Tango now. And that is going to be beautiful for Mumford, isn't it? Can McLaren get third and fourth in this sprint? Incredible driving there from both the Papaya McLarens. Remember, a great day for AlphaTauri last night in gold, and similar story to the McLaren tonight in silver as well. Magical stuff indeed. Dopey Lemon's trying to use those soft tires to his advantage. He's moved himself up into 12th. He will move himself up into 10th if he gets no penalties towards the end of this one. He's got a lap and a half to go. Whoa, is that car right in front of Sweet Dead all over the show there? But I'm impressed with these drivers there. Even though they're getting very squirrely and it looks like they're out of control, but somehow they are keeping it on the island. And Rob Board then is far very much then right in the gearbox and corner that he's going to have a look at. He's got on the inside. Not quite, and it looks like it's getting very overcast. We are expecting rain in the race. I didn't know about the sprint there, but I've got to say it is looking very dull out there. Dopey is off the circuit and down in 70th position there for Dopey Lemons. They're disappointed now for Dopey. Farfar has decided to stay. Oh, or has he? Where's the DRS detection zone then? And the DRS detection zone's come up then. So basically, I think that they're basically fighting over who's going to get DRS, and Farfar's let Gordo go here, so he can have DRS now. However, Gordo's going to have DRS and from Mumford in front of him. I think Farfar will have the extra advantage, and here he comes out. There's Mumford just in front of us, and Tango is defending beautifully well. Here's Farfar from the outside in the top of lane. No! And Gordo is still marginally ahead there, but Gordo's left it outside there, and far from the inside. Oh my goodness gracious me, far from the inside. And splendid stuff there for Farfar. Oh, he's flipping the bird, Farfar. Good heavens of Farfar. We might have to censor that out in our race reruns. Good heavens, our Farf. Shocking behaviour. But Farfar's now been doing the 6th position there. Vessier has made its way up into 8th as well. Great driving from Vessier. And I think Ferrari then be happy with that. And both their drivers are not here tonight then. So Ferrari have had to get 2 reserves in. And Vessier is driving superbly well for the Scuderia. Great stuff. Gordo, though, those soft tires worked out very nicely for Gordo, and at the moment then he's going to get 2 points then into his account, which is great stuff indeed. Gap at the front then is still about 7/10 a second there. Brabant has managed this beautifully well and going for his 2nd sprint race win of his career then as he comes out of Blanchemont for the 8th and final time then. into the bus stop now. Vessier all over the back of Gordo. Gordo is struggling, isn't he? I fear for Gordo. I wonder if he's got a bit of a wet setup on there. So Brabbitt's going to win this race. There he goes, and Brabbitt wins the sprint race here in Belgium. His second sprint race win of his career as well. Great stuff then with Delando in second, Irvine in third, and Tango in fourth position there. So Tango then losing out to the top two then, but it's only 2 points difference now. I say only 2 points. Anything can happen in ALR in general, and it usually does so. But Tango's lost 2 points out to Delando and to 3 points there for Brabbitt, who gets his second sprint race win of his career in silver. Great stuff indeed there. And Reflections just come around to finish 19th finish now. Jenna, the only retirement from the sprint. Ron, incredible end to that race. Like, really good stuff indeed, and I'm expecting the same in the in the Grand Prix itself, which is coming up in just a jiffy there. Vessia there, loving life there in the Ferrari. And here are the final classifications from the sprint as well. Look at that win there. You see that tree down the bottom there? Very blustery, isn't it? Good heavens, Ed. So that might be a sign of things coming. We do think the weather is coming in for the race there. About 15 minutes into the race, we are expecting it to turn nasty. We are expecting a bit of the wet stuff then. Let's take a look at the classification now from the sprint. Brabbitt won his second sprint of his career with Delando in second. Irvine in third position. Tango, he just mentioned in the comments, no pace in fourth. Mumford in fifth. Great result for the McLaren team. Far in sixth with Gordo in seventh. Great stuff on the soft tires. Vessier, brilliant drive in eighth position. Now remember, Vessier, a bronze driver down Super 7 tonight. Camero, disappointing not to get any points there from his grid slot. Todd in 10th. Craig R, Mr. Elite, Sweet, Kaz, Golden Wolf, Dan, Dopey Lemons, Kaya, Reflections, and the only retirement there, of course, was Jitter. Oh, my word there. Oh gosh. Well, I think that they might have been pulling my leg there because it doesn't look like it's going to rain. Does it? However, maybe I'm being lulled into a false sense of security because of course. Belgium does have its own microclimate there. Serious Mushroom, my lap is having some issues, and don't worry, Serious Mushroom is probably me. We've got Gordon saying, yeah, definitely knows what he's talking about. Love his rants as well. It's good. I think I've missed a part there, haven't I? Right, we've got Gillen there, Brabbit there. Brilliant stuff there. Serious Mushroom is saying there. Good stuff there. Tango said he had no pace there. Lovely jubbly indeed. I've missed quite a chunk of comments there, so I'm not going to read all of them there, but I'm sure it's all interesting stuff indeed then. Rain as in the last two blocks on the weather screen then. So that is going to change the complexion of the race then. So what are the drivers going to do? Remember, famously in the Malaysian Grand Prix 2001, Ron Dennis, who was the principal of the McLaren team way back then, confidently predicted that there is not going to be any rain. And goodness me, that is illegal. That one of those, I think that was Vesher just teleported out of his box there. Shocking stuff indeed then. The bit of Doctor Who there. Incredible. I can't remember what else teleports there, but goodness gracious, I'm not really sure if the teleportation is allowed in ALR. Back in the Malaysian Grand Prix in 2001, Ron Dennis confidently predicted, I got it on the DVD, and I always laugh every time he says it, because I interview him right before the race, and he's always confident that it's not going to rain. It's not going to rain in the race, and it absolutely buckets it down, doesn't it? Of course, that was the day where Ferrari went on the intermediate tyres, and everyone else was on the wet tyres. It was a great drive from both Barrichello and Michael Schumacher, wasn't it? Really good stuff indeed there. Incredible opening couple of laps. I think there was only 11 cars remaining after that deluge finish there, because I think they brought the safety car out, didn't they? They didn't red flag the race, I don't think. It was just it was such a short shower that they didn't red flag it at all. As we're just watching Brabant, and who's of course got a second sprint race win of his career. Brabant, is going to start first for the race itself, and he's on the hard tyre along with Tango, Vessier, Camero, and we've got Dan, Dopey, Reflections, and Jinner. Soft runners for Todd, Craigar, and Sweet. Everyone else on the medium tyres there. I was about to mention before I went off onto my own la-la run there that I'm not sure if that's a good film, by the way, but I know Emma Stone's in it, so it must be good. And there's also a gentleman called Ryan Gosling as well. But I must say, I don't really know much about Ryan Gosling films. Well, not personally. I don't think I watch any of his films. I couldn't put a finger on what else he's in. To be honest, Ryan Gosling. Is he in Blade Runner? Maybe. Don't know. Anyway, enough about that. We got to get on with the race. Brabant starts first there. Second position is Delando. Third is Irvine with Tango in fourth. Fifth is Mumford. Farp up into sixth. Then Gordo is seventh. Farp and Gordo going to renew their rivalry from the sprint. Ninth is Camaro. 10th is V Todd. Craig R in 11th. Mr. Lee is in 12th with Sweet in 13th. 14th is Kaz. 15th is Golden Wolf. 16th is Dan Dan with Dopey 17th. Kaya in 18th position. 19th is Reflections. Jinner, the only retirement from the sprint race, hoping he can get a good result in the Grand Prix itself. And as you all line up on the grid now, what I was going to mention, of course, tyre allocation might be crucial in this one, of course, as it does depend. It depends there, of course, on when the rain comes. It's meant to come later on the race, just over half distance in this race. It's meant to come, so maybe the harder tyres is the way to go. Maybe the soft tyres actually a good opportunity there to get yourself through the field then in the opening stretch, that then really put the hammer down. Maybe, but I'm in the mid part of the midfield there. Right, lights are up then. Lovely shot here. We'll go here. What a fantastic shot, and what a good start from Brabant. That is, he takes lead, but Dylando's going to go as he. No, he isn't. He's having a look then. Tango on the outside. Farf is on an electric start up in the fifth position. Yellow flag then. Someone is off-fed in the background. I'm not sure it was, but they've all got through. Well, they're all certainly going in the right direction. No one has been stationary at the start of La Sorsa. Just following Tango through Eau Rouge and Radion then. And now we've got some slipstream already, because here comes Delando. Then he's going up the outside. He takes the lead then this time. And we've got to McLaren on the outside as well. Goodness me. It's free abreast then. And then Brabant has been very much... and he's almost off the circuit. Brabant has gone from first to fifth, first to sixth now. First to sixth for Brabant there. Goodness me, that is the slipstream effect up the Camel Straight. Then Mumford is trying to stay on the inside then. Brabant is going to be on the outside then. Is Mumford going to hang him out to dry? No, but Brabant there, unfortunately, that's a terrible start there for the championship leader. That is not what he wanted at all. And he just down the Camel Straight that he just really struggled then. And unfortunately, wherever he put his car, he would have been in the wrong part of town, unfortunately, for Brabant. And here comes Gordo. Those hard tyres then for Gordo those hard tyres for Brabant then really hurts it. But Tango hard tyres has made it work absolutely splendidly well. Wow, incredible. Oh gosh, there's a Jinner out of the race there, and that's 2 for 2. Jinner, oh goodness me. And that is a safety car very early on in this race. And one of the soft runners may come to the pits, and maybe a bit too early there for anyone else to come to the pits. Jinner, nightmare race. Two races there, or a sprint and a Grand Prix, and a retirement in both. Jinner having a horror show. He got himself up to 16th, I think, now, but he's out of this race now, and that is a nightmare. Is anyone coming in the pits? And far from the fourth. Brabant down into sixth, and of course he was on pole center. A terrible start for Brabant. Into the pits comes no Vessier's off the circuit. Vessier has lost 2 positions there, I think, anyway. As it looked like, I think he's coming in the pits. Everyone has stayed out there, apart from Golden Wolf in the Williams, is in the pits now. Sensible drawing from Rabbit though. Serious Mushroom is saying now, as goodness me then. So has Rabbit got one or 2 poles a day short? Oh goodness me. He's got 1 pole position, Mushroom there. Of course, pole position only counts if you qualify. Pole position only counts if you qualify. So if it's a sprint race, that doesn't count as a pole position there. So if you win the sprint race, that's not a pole position. You get the cut of my gym. To be honest, I'm really bad at explaining it. My logic came from Crofty, when he explained it last season, I think. So I've always took from blame Crofty. I think that if you win qualifying, that should be pole position. That's my intake on it. That's my take on the qualifying debacle, I think. Anyways, just watching Delando at the moment. Well, that's the way I'm doing it anyway. As we just as a Serious Mushroom, unfortunately, saying that his laptop is unfortunately. Tango around the outside, 2 cars, lap 1. Then what a move, Liam is saying then. Of course, I think I missed that, to be honest. Or did I miss that, or was I not paying attention? Probably a bit of both, to be honest, but a great manoeuvre there from Tango, who I was saying that the hard tires were struggling on Brabbitt's car. However, Tango made it work, didn't he? So Brabbitt may have just not got didn't get enough temperature in the tires there from the formation lap, potentially. Maybe. Or maybe Tango just positioned his car better on the Kemmel straight there. But Brabbitt was punching a hole in the air for everyone else said. Safety car is still at the moment. Hopefully it'll be in at the end of this lap then, and we can get back racing. And Jenner 2 for 2 with retirements in tonight's race, unfortunately, which is a big shame indeed. Hope that safety car lights go off and then we can get back racing. Safety car is still out there, so no one's got, so safety car's not staying coming out at the moment. So Golden Wolf has now gone onto the hard tyres, and so Golden Wolf then is going to be going very long in this race now. So he will be trying to hang it out until the rain comes. If the rain comes out, you do not want to be caught weather watching now, do you? Because that could really hurt you. Golden Wolf has stolen Alex Albon's car there, so he's got 23, but he has the beautiful British Grand Prix livery. Vessier is in the pits, and there was something that happened to Vessier at the entry of the pit lane earlier on in this race, didn't it? Well, just a lap ago, but he's in the pits now, Vessier is there. He's already on the hard tyres, also in his cars as well. So Vessier, there must be a problem there for Ferrari. He comes into the pits now. No, he's just changing tyres. He's onto the medium now, Vessier has said. So maybe Vessier doesn't think the rain is coming. They got Kaz going onto the hard tyre as well. I think Kaz also in the Ferrari as well tonight, isn't he? I believe he is. Maybe I should have read the notes before I started this stream then. But of course, I've never read notes at the end, as you can tell from when I don't know who has a qualifying back. Saucer Waste here, Sirius Rush was saying. They hung on very well last night then, but yeah, I think that I wonder if V Todd, Sweet and Craig are. Do you think that they should have come in the pits now then and thrown a set of hard tyres and waited until the rain came at the end? I'm very fixated on this rain. Maybe the rain's not going to come at all, is it? I can see me very much being embarrassed by the end of this when the rain not coming at all. But it is certainly, is a Tango off the circuit there. It is certainly going to be on the driver's mindset, isn't it? Mark will be in their ears and to be telling them about the weather. I'm sure of it. There in the real world of fun, when they have had spotters, wouldn't they, all over the circuit to tell it where the rain is coming, when it's coming, and on which corner. Dylan then is at a perfect start, and of course in the sprint it was a well-managed sprint race there for Brabbitt, but then he's dropped down into 6th run. That has been the major talking point Monday. Gordo, of course, who is driving in the Red Bull tonight, has just said rain in 10 to 15 minutes, which is about lap 15, something like that then. Source Mark then. So that is the source then. So we'll blame Mark Presley if it goes wrong then. To save the car in at the end of this lap then. Dilando is currently the leader of this one there. He is going to be punching a hole in the air, but he does have the medium tires. Tango's on the hards, of course, there. And the soft burns, the feet told Sweet and Craig are decided not to come in. The only pit stoppers we had was Vessier, who's gone from hard to the medium, and Kaz, who's gone from the medium to the hard compound tires. So when is Dilando going to get going then? So remember, Brabbitt got going just before the start of, the bus stop chicane then. So can Dilando, is Dilando going to do the same, or is he going to go earlier? Is he going to go later? Well, let's find out. He's gone. There he goes. And yes, of course, I think that he's still about 4/10 of a second away. Tango has not been dropped too badly there. Remember, he is on the medium to hard tire swap, which is going to be harder for him to get some tire temperature out of the final quarter then. Let's get going. Hopefully, this will be our first race lap. V Todd's in the pits, and so I'm surprised V Todd, something's gone wrong then with V Todd, because surely he would have pitted the lap before and come in the pits. V Todd, that is a nightmare now for V Todd. Dilando's got half a second advantage over Tango, who's also got half a second over Irvine. Far from 4th, 5th is Mumford, 6th is Brabbitt, 7th is Gordo, 8th is Cameron, 9th is Mr. Elite, and then we got Sweet and 10th with Craig R, and 11th position down into 12th, and Dopey, Reflections, Kaya, Golden Wolf, and Golden Wolf is all over the back of Kaya. Then we go free abreast here. Goodness gracious me, here's Vessier, and he's on the outside now. They're on board. Goodness gracious me, then free. Oh my goodness me, free abreast. Then goodness me, free is not the magic number. And Gaia then end up, bit of contact. Then Golden Wolf's had to scamper off at the top of Lake Com here. Oh, and Gaia then is struggling, and he's down into 18th position there. V Todd is on the softs again. Then V Todd, I'm sure that was an unplanned scheduled stop there for V Todd. He's right at the back of the field and then hoping for a safety car. V Todd has had a very difficult 5-second penalty there for getting an advantage for Golden Wolf there. Unfortunately for V Todd, we was hoping that result last time out in Hungary would really propel him. He's had a difficult last 2 seasons, V Todd hasn't he? There, unfortunately, he's had some highlights, but unfortunately tonight then it's going to be a struggle unless he gets a safety car to get him back in this race. And Mumford, who is going to be looking over his shoulder here because he hasn't had the best of start. And Brabbit and Gordo are very much on the prowl here now, and there they are. Here is Brabbit. Remember, he was the first. He was starting first. And Gordo on the inside there, and Brabbit's going to have to steer out of that one. And Gordo will have the inside. No, he isn't. Gordo's got backed out and trying to go for the switcheroo there, but Brabbit there reducing the momentum there of Gordo. And he is going to switch then. Not the line you want through there. Serious Rush was saying at the top of at the top of the Kemmel Straight there, as we just got Gordo. No DRS yet, and DRS will be available at the end of this. Back on board with Gordo as well as we go through Jean Radium then. At the top of the hill then is a peak over then. Look at this, and Gordo's got some more tire temperature. I think then Brabbit then on the outside at the Kemmel Straight up to Lake Com. He ain't even going to need the Lake Com. Farf is up into second position, up but no it's to be. He's got past Irvine and Van now Tango. Farf like a freight train at the moment. He is now second there. Farf has already got a Grand Prix win under his belt there. He's fourth in the championship. He is not out of the championship fight just yet. Craig are out of the race then. Oh gosh, then that's a huge smash there. That's a safety car again. And we had a couple of incidents at the top of that very corner last night, and Craig are out of the Grand Prix. Goodness me, that's another safety car. This is music to the ears of V Todd. And now, is anyone going to come into the pits and change strategy? Is this an opportunity to come in the pits on lap 5? Oh dear. I think that Sweets would like to come in the pits. I reckon V Todd may want to come in the pits and ditch those soft tyres as well. Anyone else? And I think it's still a bit too early, isn't it, there to come in the pits? And medium tyres might be tempted potentially. They haven't gone through their paces yet, have they? Bernd Mailander is parked just by the support paddock, then by the support pit lane is Bernd Mailander. So he's waiting to collect the cars, but that's another safety car. Of course, when you go off here, you go off in a big way. That is why you've got a lot of safety cars around here. And unfortunately, that is a second safety car in about 5 laps. The Delando, of course, who is second in the championship. This is a crucial part of the race, isn't it? There, whatever, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Brabbit down to 7th, and the hard tyres there not helping Brabbit out at the moment, but it may do later on. Perfect opportunity now for Sweet in the Williams car, albeit he is the Krymer sports car, isn't he? We've got a lot of pit stoppers. We've got reflections in as well. I think is that Golden Wolf coming? No, Golden Wolf has stayed out there, but into the pits comes Sweet then. We've got reflections in as well. So then, what tyres are they going to go on then? We have got Sweet going onto the hard tyres now. Reflections onto the medium cars into the pits there. He's going. The Ferrari mechanics are still getting to work there. He is on the soft compound tyres there. V Todd has stayed out. There is now some black clouds there in the and there's some black clouds then coming over the top of Spa here. So, and I think that the drivers definitely see that. Gordon mentioned then a couple of minutes ago that there is about 10 minutes away is the rain then. Oh, we've got a source of the driver tan. That's what's going on here. Mushroom, Favre's cracked lately. He really is, isn't he? Favre on an absolute mission there. He really is indeed, Favre. He's got, I think he's got 4 driver of the days this season as well, hasn't he? Very good stuff indeed. And he's now up into second at the moment, Favre is. Can he get the Grand Prix win? Can he get a second win of the season? I think that Favre hasn't had 2 Grand Prix wins since the second season of ALR. That was back on F1 2019, I think was the last time that Favre had 2 wins this season. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I may be wrong on that one. I'll have to have a look through my own notes there. If I had to help Favre catch you with the Driver of the Day award again, I'm not going to be happy. He's catching me up then. to be honest though, Serious Mushroom, you probably should have one or two more because, of course, Ross Maldonado stole your Driver of the Day award in the British Grand Prix last year. So, yes, I might vote for someone else to spite him. To be honest, I would as well, to be fair. I think I begrudgingly voted for him a couple of weeks ago, but really, you couldn't help but vote for him in that incredible performance out of Favre. But no, he's doing really well, isn't he, as of late, Favre? He's really knuckled down. He's enjoying life in the pink machine, isn't he, Favre? He's currently in second. He is fourth in the World Championship. There's a bit of a gap between himself and Tango. However, Favre is stringing together some very good performances, isn't he? But the moment in the top two is staying out Delando. He knows that Favre is very much in the ballpark of the championship, but I think Delando is still going to be concerned about Brabant and maybe Tango to this moment in time now. As Irvine's out of the race. What's happened? And Irvine's gone off. Oh my goodness me! Irvine is in the wall on the start-finish day, and one of the major players, the key players in this race, is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. What has happened there for Irvine? Oh my goodness me, as he spun the rear tyres and spun into the barrier, I'm not sure, under the safety car, Irvine's out of this race there, and that is an absolute nightmare for the McLaren driver. Irvine was on the cusp with some major points here tonight because he was flying. Both McLarens of Mumford and Irvine was having a fantastic performance, but now he is out of the Grand Prix. That is shocking stuff indeed in this one. Serious Russia, Favre's also flying in F2. Favre loves the F2 campaign, doesn't he? He's really enjoying himself over there. Driver who isn't going to be enjoying himself is Irvine. What has happened there? Oh no, and so unfortunately, the driver behind Irvine has hit him into the wall. So that is not good at all. That is why you don't go into AI mode under the safety cars, because that has completely and utterly ruined Irvine's performance here tonight. There, I don't know who was directly behind Irvine. So was it his teammate Mumford? Because Irvine was fourth, wasn't he? Or was he third? He was around the top end there, but unfortunately Irvine out of the Grand Prix. Someone's AI, I'm not sure whose AI, but someone's AI has what happens then, of course, if anyone's new, to be honest, if I was watching the stream, I'd be like, what the hell's an AI? Of course, there's no intelligence in my brain, I must assure you that. Oh, and we got the finger pointed at Mumford. Oh gosh, goodness gracious me! As it's a very slow, as Dylan is slow right down. So Mumford, that I'm glad Liam's paying attention because goodness me, I'm getting old. You see, I can't remember what's happened then. But Mumford then, if Mumford's AI then has gone to the back of his teammate, that is a cardinal sin, is there? Do not take your teammate out. And unfortunately, Mumford has paused the game then, gone into AI, we think. And that has taken Irvine out of this race. That is absolute, that is disgraceful luck there for Irvine. And, oh gosh, I don't want to swallow my tongue there. But that is absolutely rotten luck there for the McLaren team as well. I do think that Irvine is right to feel a bit aggrieved with that. That's why you don't go into AI. However, I always go into AI under the safety car. But then again, but never look at. But then again, I'm definitely not a league racer professionally or whatever. I'm nowhere near. Vesier's dropping down the order. Then we're back racing. Delando leads far up in second position there. What has happened to Vesier? He's dropped down 2 positions there. Vesier has said, and he's in the 11th position at the moment there in the Ferrari there. He is the highest runner who has pitted in this race so far. Back at the front, how is it looking then? Delando's got 7/10 a second over Favre, who's in second position there. Tango's done a very good job on his hard tyres there to keep up with Favre. Great stuff indeed. We're on board with Gordo in 5th position at this moment in time then. Just going up to the top of the hill then, as Mumford there just in front of us at the moment. Going up to the top of Lake Com. Sweet is past Kaya. There he goes then. Lovely stuff indeed. Mr. Elite was trying to overtake that. Dopey Lemons there is Dopey Lemons there. Oh gosh, they're very close between Lemons and Vesier. Golden Wolf has got penalty. Who's off in the background? I think that's Kaya who's off in the background. It is, and he's out of the race. And that is a safety car again. Goodness gracious me, that's 3 safety cars in 8 laps there. I'm surprised that Kaya managed to hit the wall on the inside there. I must admit, I thought he was going to spin around, but Kaya out of this race as well. Another safety car, and I think that we've had more safety cars tonight than we have had racing out there. But this gives you a great opportunity to read the comments there. I only use AI when I'm not near anyone to check the race director. Which is fair enough. 5 minutes to rain. Do I pit for soft score? We're saying, good gracious me. I'm going to be honest there. I think, oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? 5 minutes to rain then. Well, this, to be fair, with the amount of safety cars, I'm not really sure if you'll have an opportunity to use those soft tires at the moment. Goodness gracious me. 4 retirements before the halfway stage in this Belgian Grand Prix. Round 12 of the Season 6 Championship of Silver. And action-packed by Jove. No, Gordo. There's, yes, boss. So, Serious Mushroom has laid the gauntlet down. Into the pits comes Brabbit, comes Camaro. There has been a chain reaction of sorts. And so, what tires is the Mercedes mechanics got ready for Brabbit, the championship leader? That's me. No, it isn't. Sorry, it's the wrong, it's the wrong pit crew. And what is that? That is intermediate tire. It's intermediate tires. There's a major gamble going on here. So there is no rain falling from the sky. But talking about Malaysia, remember back in 2009 when Kimi Räikkönen drove around about 5 laps, 3 to 5 laps on full wet tires with no rain, and almost ruined those tires, did it? But this is exactly what some of the drivers have done. Brabbit has gone on intermediate tires, Camaro on intermediates, with Dan on intermediates, Reflex has gone on software. Wow, this is a very interesting development then. There's 5 minutes till rain then, according to our source there. Goodness gracious me. I must say, they have to really babysit these intermediate tires though, because if they go full whack out on them now, that is certainly going to not help them, is it? This is interesting. Serious Russian, that's bad then, and I'm wondering that if Serious Russian is thinking that's bad because of the amount of wear that's going to be on them, is that going to really help them in the long run? Well, I don't know, because luckily, unluckily or luckily, I'm not a tyre engineer. I say that I always, to be honest, so sometimes, as Martin Brundle says, be on the right tyre at the right time. But when there's a safety car out, it's a free pit stop. That is why the 3 drivers of Dan, Brabbit and Dope who come into the pits are from the intermediate tires, because if it rains heavily now, it needs to rain heavily now, and if it does rain heavily now, how long am I going to say? I was going to say heavily. If it rains now, then the intermediate tires is the tires to be on, but of course it's going to take a lap or two, I think, before the track gets wet. But goodness gracious me, them heaters will burn. Them inches will burn, baby. Goodness me, I think serious much there. Got a bit of Disco Inferno on the go in the comments. Fantastic. But yes, I do agree with you, Mushroom. They will burn very badly indeed in this one. I think that this is a major risk for the championship leader. I'm quite astounded that Brabbit was down in 7th position. I do think that I think that he was in the points there, and I think that he could have because he was on the harder tires there, I think he could have been able to get some positions up from there as well. I don't think he would have finished them if he carried on there, but interesting stuff indeed there. Into the pits there comes a Golden Wolf, who's also in the pits as well on the hard tires. So Wolf with the beautiful Williams livery there. Fantastic stuff there from Golden Wolf, making only his 2nd start in ALR. Now let's see what, and he's also got on the intermediate tires as well there, as his Reflections there, but the rain has not started yet, and we got to remind you that it's going to take a lap or two. And how heavy is the rain then? And of course we do not know, is it going to be a light flurry, or is it going to be intensity free, or maybe higher than that then? But whatever the case may be, these drivers are going on intermediate tires, but it's still a bone dry track. And Dilando leads that safety car, I think, will be in at the end of this lap then. And we're back racing. It needs to rain now, to be honest. I think 5 minutes ago was when the rain was meant to come. Then the rain needs to come now, and it needs to bucket it down here. It can do that. There's a microclimate here in Spa in the Ardennes Forest. Good gracious me. A no lap on the safety car could change things, though. Serious Russia was saying that. I think the safety car would be in at the end of this lap, personally. Of course, that is as the safety car, the Burt Mylander is waiting for the drivers to catch up. Then to catch up on the Crocodile. But goodness me, I am absolutely astounded that the drivers are taking a big risk here. Of course, be on the right tyres at the right time is the golden rule in Formula One. At the moment, the right tyres is certainly the slick tyres. Then I don't think that the intermediate tyres is the right tyre at the moment. Then rain will be heavy, but I don't think it will come quick enough for that strategy to work. Gordo is saying that. So Gordo has said that this rain is going to be a deluge, but it's not going to be a deluge to start with, and so it is going to be light rain. It seems to it's going to transition into heavy rain. So that is bad news for the intermediate tyres, because they needed to bucket it down now. It needs to be monsoon conditions for those intermediate tyres right from the get-go here. Now you're good, Gordo. Safety car still out there, and we're going to wait for those lights to go off. We're on board Delando. This is an opportunity. The safety car is in. There's going to be a sinking feeling for Brabant. Dopey Lemons reflects the Golden Wolf. However, but if they lose, if they can stay within 25 seconds there from the from the slick tyres, this may be an advantage, but it needs to rain now, and it's not raining now. Lap 10 out of 22 here. Goodness gracious me, there's been a long old race so far, hasn't it? We've had 3 safety cars here tonight, my word. Wow, this is this is an incredible race, isn't it? Just shows, doesn't it? Of course, it's easy for me to say up for the commentary boxes there. I must say, I'll be in 2 minds as well about what to do then. But they have definitely rolling the dice, haven't they? Delando's gone, so is Farf, so is Tango, and now we're back racing then as well. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. Then, if there's another safety car in quick succession here, then maybe the intermediate runners might be grinning then. So let's see how this one goes. That might be what they're gambling on here, is that they into the pits comes Kaz. That's what they might be gambling on. They might be gambling on. Oh, that chicken has come back to haunt me. What they might be gambling on now is there might be another safety car in the matter of minutes here. If that is the case, then that needs to be the tyres are going to be smiling from ear to ear. Then as we go up through Raddy on this one, and Farfa is just trying to keep up. Then there's Gordo all over the back of Mumford. Then Mumford there is on the back of Mumford now. Gordo is having a look then into the top of Lake Calm. He is a bit too far back at the moment. Intermediate tyres for everyone near the back of the field. Then everyone at the back. Rain has come down then, so now Brabant needs this rain to absolutely pour down onto the circuit, on board with the championship leader now. He needs to stay there within 20 odd seconds there to get in front of Dylan. That is what he's risking now. It's a lot of risk reward here, but at the moment there, look at that, he's already a second back. But let's see how quickly this rain comes here. But as Vessier's got past Mr. Lee down into Puyong as well, then good overtake there from Vessier. Great 76th position, doing a great job. V Todd back in this race as well after being near the back of the field. He's done 7 laps on the soft tyres here. Now Vessier's going to have to be getting defensive here. Goodness me then. And we're just on board now. And that's an awful comment I've just read there from Irvine. Goodness gracious me. I'll read it out in just a minute, and I think Irvine is crying for Nosy to come back. And we're on board now with Vessier. He's going to go into the bus stop chicane. He's having a look, not quite then, as Gordo is just parked it nicely. Indeed, we got pits. Delando, who's the race leader, is in the pits already. My goodness me, that is very early. I'm surprised about that. I'm absolutely dumbfounded why he's coming to the pits this early on. Then the track seems to be very dry, but it is a long lap around here, isn't there? So it can be dry. Then the next lap could be the track could be absolutely saturated here. Farf leads the race. Tango in second. Third is Mumford. Gordo fourth. Fifth is Vestier. No DRS yet. And if it stays at this intensity at the moment, then the DRS will be enabled. As we go to the top of Laycom, intermediate tyres are now 3 seconds behind Camaro Racer. So he's lost 3 seconds in 1 lap. Brabant Azad. Delando, who was leading this race, is coming to the pits. As has Sweet on that lap then. No one else is coming to the pits. So we're just taking a look. Brabant is still losing time there to Camaro Racer. That is what we're keeping. That's what we're confirming the delta with the moment between the medium tyres and the intermediate tyres. And Vesser all over the back of Gordo. He's going this way and that way. He's going to go on the outside down the Pouillon. Then Gordo cuts across his nose, going to the Ferrari. ALR driver. He has gone wide though. Vessier's got some momentum there. Look at the raindrops on the T-cam now then, as the rain is starting to get heavier. It's still very light intensity at the moment now, as Farf is getting very pushed to the limit up beyond there by Tango on the hard compound tyres there. Brabbitt has now lost another 2 seconds on this lap alone. My word, back on board with Vessier once again now. There goes Farf is in major peril here. Here comes Farf. Here's Tango, and there's Mumford about a second back. There he is in the McLaren Mercedes. In the background, in the Papaya McLaren Mercedes. Well, are they going to come in the pits? And I think it's still too dry at the moment. One more lap, I think. One more lap, then coming to the pits. And are they going to slow down to the bus stop? Is it still dry? It's still dry. They all still go around then to complete lap 13 of this race. No, I'm on lap 12. Goodness gracious me. I'm wishing this race away. Gap is up to another second there. The intermediate tyres are still not quicker than the slick tyres at the moment now. So Brabbitt is still losing time on the slick runners. That is what we are definitely comparing the runners to at the moment. Vessier then, who is dropped back from Gordon at the moment there, so I need to get some air into my lungs. Oh gosh, look, yeah, Brabbitt's lost another second there. There is Brabbitt now up to set. However, he's starting to gap. Camero. Camero is through and up into 7th position there. Passes Viton at the top of Lake Com. Then Viton has done 9 laps on those soft tyres, so those tyres are going to be well past their best. Here are the intermediate runners, and Dan has got patch reflexes. Dopey Lemons is down to 12th position there, and I've got to say it's going to be very difficult. And the question is, are these intermediate tyres going to be burnt out now? That is what I'm thinking now. V. Todd is struggling now. He's lost a second, hasn't he? We're keeping an eye on the doubters at the moment there. But, sorry, not the doubters, the gaps between Brabbitt and the slick runners, and the gap is coming down quite quickly. But V. Todd has been on those soft tyres for forever and a day. Tango all over the back now of Farf. Here's Tango. Tango has won 1 race this season. So has Farf as well. This is an opportunity. Look at the gap. So they're 3 seconds off the pace now, aren't they? So the rain is starting to affect them, but I still think it's too dry out there for the intermediate tyres, you know. I've always been wrong on this though, so do not listen to me. But look at those raindrops. So that is going to be streaming off of the helmets now of these drivers out. So are they going to be coming into the pits? Have they got a no, they're staying out. They're all staying out. They're all staying out there. So it's still quicker to be on the slick tyres potentially. My goodness me, Camero has come into the pit. So Camero has decided to call it a day and come into the pits. Where is he going to be compared to the intermediate runners? As right down the bottom is Kaz at the moment. Kaz 10 seconds adrift at the back. Tango, there's still DRS available at the moment there. So Tango certainly Tango has actually dropped back there. Farf has done a very good job, I think, on the Camero coming out the pits now. So we've got Dopey Lemons. Dilando is now for 2 11 position there. His next target is Dopey Lemons there in the background there. That is Camero coming out, and here comes Dilando through. And remember, he's done 3 laps less on those intermediate tyres there, so those tyres are not going to be as worn out. Just seen Mushroom's comment there that the intermediate tyres have been driving around the circuit on a dry track, haven't they? So they're going to be certainly past their best already, but are they going to be better than the slick tyres as they come up to the top of Lake Com? Yes, he has done it there, but Dandan's going to have to scamper off the circuit there. But Dilando's got the inside there. There's contact between Dandan and Dilando there. And who is out drifting around the background? I think that was Dopey Lemons. Dilando on the inside there. No, Dandan's going to go wide there. So Dilando's got the inside line. He's got track position. His next target, 6 seconds, 7 seconds up the road. It is Brabbitt then. As Dan, look at this. Look at this queue of cars. Farf is very much under the cosh once again from Tango. Brabbitt is 10 seconds away from B-Todd on very own worn soft tyres as well. So that I think the intermediate experiment is not working at the moment, and I think the drivers in front are they need to be gapping more. Farf is under major pressure now as we're on lap 14 out of 22, and I think the track is still too dry out there for the intermediate tyres, I think. Farf has had enough. He's into the pits, and the race leader has come to the pits. Everyone else has stayed out at this stage of proceedings, and across the line then there's even a bit DRS. Mumford up to second, Gordo third, Vessel up to fourth, Mr. Elite up to superb fifth position. Vital into the pits as well then. So where is Farf then compared to Brabham, and it was the first driver on the intermediate tyres. They're coming across the line now. Serious Russian, it's time to switch. Vital has gone on to the medium tyres, and where's Farf? Look, so Brabham will take the de facto lead here if the rain comes down now. So Brabham will take the de facto lead, but Farf will be quicker, I think, because as well we got some incredible battling going on out of last source here between Dan and then the camera racing, and now we got Vital also involved as well. Goodness me! And going through it, Randy on as well, over the round the hill they come then, and there is the dry tyres, and Gordo has lost out to Vessier, and look at these drivers, and they're just streaming past Vital then, and we got 3-4 abreast. Oh my goodness me! And Vital is the unfortunate victim of that smash there. Gosh, they're going at the top to the Camel Straight there. 3-1 does not go, and my goodness me, they're still fighting up there at the moment. Vital has just come out of the pits, and he's going to be furious with that. Vital is oh my goodness, it grates me. Farf is gapping and Brabham quite quickly here, because I think he is on newer intermediate tyres. He is on newer intermediate tyres, and so Farf has the advantage. I think Dylan is also going to be quicker as well. But the rate, I think it's now just about time. I agree with Mushroom. I think it's time to pit now for the intermediate tyres. On board is Sweeter and down in 12th position. Vital is going to come back in the pits. He's lost a lot of tangos in the pits. Vessier in the pits. Mumford in the pits, and they're all coming in the pits now. So Brabham will take the de facto lead in this one, but Farf has tread in his tyres, as Sirius Rush saying he does indeed, and there he goes! He's on the inside, and Farf takes the lead. And Brabham's audacious strategy potentially could have worked, but he's lost. But the amount of Sirius Rush is right. The amount of wear that he has lost because of the driving on a dry circuit, it's really going to affect him now. Farf retakes the lead. Then Farf is judged this to perfection. There's Tango, who's just got the pits, but Farf leads. Brabham in second. Tango in third position here. Oh my goodness me, DRS is still enabled at the moment there, but yes, the track is now starting to transition into wet. Vessier in a superb fourth, with Mumford in fifth, with Gordo sixth, and Gordo's all over the back of Mumford there. And here comes Tango then, and Brabham, I think, is going to struggle to defend here. Kaz got 5-second penalty to Brabham on the outside. Tango's going to up the inside there. He has the grip, he has the purchase, he has the performance of the intro tyres, up in 2-second position. He's got 1 lap younger tyres now. Farf bottom then. Sirius Rush was saying there, Vital is back on the soft tyres. Vital the only driver to stay on the dry tyres out there. Tango is now in the second position. Look in the background, we have Vessier. Where is Delando? Delando's down in 8th position there, and I think that might have been a mistake for Delando to come into the pit so early on. Mumford in 6th at the moment there. Gordo is up into 5th. Now Vessier in a great job in 4th position. Brilliant job there for Vessier at the moment. Oh gosh, there is the track is still quite relatively dry out there, but I do think that it is very close to the transition point there. As Vital is on the soft tire, on new soft tires, it's actually slower than camera. We don't know if those are new softs or not there from Vital, but I think that it is time for the intermediate tires. Tango then, can he get past before the DRS has been disabled? Vessier has passed Brabham then, and Brabham then is with lap 16, 6 laps to go for Brabham. This is going to be a very long 6 laps for the championship leader. Farf into the bus stop chicane. It's going to be a long 6 laps for Farf as well. Can he get a second Grand Prix win? Both these two drivers are going for their second Grand Prix win of the season as they come across the line to complete lap 16 of this 22 lap incredible Belgian Grand Prix. Very good stuff indeed there. Gordo is having a look then, but Brabham then is not going to be yielding too easily, is he? But I don't think he's going to be able to fight too hard, but he's not going to be just jumping out of the way and letting all these drivers through. Dan back in the pits. Dan was the one of the first to come into the pits, wasn't he? So so I think that this strategy, this risky call has not paid off for the drivers who pitted under the safety car. Gordo now in 4th position, and Farf has lost the lead there because Tango leads into Lacombe. Tango takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Great. Dan back on the slick tyres out there. Goodness me. I think that it's too wet now for the slick tyres, I think. However, V Todd, we're keeping on V Todd's gap there, but I think that that's because Golden Wolf's coming to the pits as well. Tango leads, second, fourth, Besser in third, Gordo in fourth, Brabbit is in fifth, but he's starting to become a bit of a mobile chicane now, isn't it? Brabbit's not got the tyres, has he, to fight for this? And Gordo could get a podium. Gordo currently in fourth at the moment. He's drawing a superb race out there, isn't he? Gordo is can he keep it going? Mr. Lee is drawing a fantastic race as well. Mr. Lee is in the Red Bull. Both Red Bulls are fourth and seventh at the moment. Brilliant job indeed there. Of course, we have got about 5 laps to go in this race. Oh, magnificent stuff. Oh, Mr. Lee there almost went to the back of Mumford there. Just about was able to slow the car down, and it comes out of Paul Frere or Stavilo, I think it is. And now Mumford on the outside, then Brabbit then, who is still in front of his championship, rival Dylan next. Dylan is about Diaz has finally been disabled then. Dylan is still 7 seconds back at this moment. So as it stands, albeit Brabbit's strategy has not entirely paid off, he has actually got himself in front of his championship rival, which at this moment then is not too bad then, is it? So as much as we were saying that that's probably the wrong strategy from Brabbit, technically, in terms of the championship, it might be the right strategy here. Into the pits comes Dilando though. So Dilando's had enough of those tyres, and only 6 laps, and they are probably burnt after not being. Favre's got a 3-second penalty. That's going to be costly because Vestia's now going to be all over his gearbox as well. Mr. Elite then squirrely at the top of the hill at Radion there as he now comes out from underneath the slipstream up into 6th position, passes Brabbit. He's done it. Yes, he has. 6th position now for Mr. Elite, passes and up into 6th. There he goes. Brabbit down into 7th. I wonder if Brabbit's going to do what Dilando done and come into the pits on a fresh set of intermediate tyres. Tango is now 2 seconds out the road from Favre. Vessia and Gordo are quicker than Favre at this stage. There they are. My goodness me. This is really, and as Serious Much has said, then Gordo could get a podium. Hopefully, a bit of a lull now because I want to read out. I want to read out the comment made by Irvine. Fun fact, every silver race that Sean has commentated on this season, I have finished with a DNF. So, goodness me, of course, you can't argue with facts like that, can you? Shocking stuff indeed. And I think Irvine will be praying that Nosey is in the booth next week. Then when we go to Zandvoort in the Dutch Grand Prix, the next time that Silver's on air, and it'll be back to a traditional format, no sprints events. Brabbit 11 seconds in front of Sweet then, so we've got Drive the Day Out, Tango, Sweet, Mr. Lee and Gordo is up for Drive the Day, and get your folks in now. Tango 50%, Gordo 50%. Gordo has got a bit more at the moment, has got a bit more in terms of votes, and Brabbit is staying out there with just a couple laps to go. Yellow flag out there, someone's got off an Uta. That's Dilando's out, he's off the circuit as well. Camera's come back on there, but I think Dilando's got he's got no front wing. The man who's second in the championship, this is a nightmare race. The race was going swimmingly for Dilando up until when the race coming. It's fallen apart for the former bronze champion. Oh no! And that is absolutely appalling luck there for Dilando. And my goodness me, Brabbit hanging it out there. I think he would do very well to finish in 7th position. Sweet is 8th with Reflections 9th and Dopey in 10th position. 11th is Camera, 12th is Golden Wolf. Can Golden Wolf get points on this debut? Dan back in the pits with Dilando also back in the pits as well. Nightmare. Dan's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. Yellow flag. Camera Racer out of this race. And is that going to be a safety car? Where is he? As we got a Dilando. If it doesn't rain, it pours. Wet tires has gone on for someone there. That's Dan. Camera Racer out of the race somewhere. Is he crashed coming into the pit lane maybe? Well, Camera out of this race anyway. It's a safety car now. This is an opportunity for some drivers now. My goodness me, Gordo needs to push now. All in Tango's hands, and I went for Gordo for Drive of the Day too. Favre wasn't in it, so thank you very much, Smithy. Liam saying it's in Tango's hands now, but this safety car has really thrown a spanner in the works, hasn't it there? What are the drivers going to do? They're going to come in for a fresh set of intermediate tyres. Let's take a look at the gap set. Tango's 3 seconds up the road from Favre. Oh, that is not enough. And Favre has got a penalty. This is a nightmare for Favre. This safety car's not going to be out for long, though. Camera out of this race, and not a shame there for Camera. The safety car is not going to be out for too long. So, what do you do? I think the safety car will be in it either at the end of lap 20, probably the end of lap 20, I would say, wouldn't it? Come on, Dylan. Slayer saying Dylan down in 14th, but this an opportunistic time for Dylan to maybe get himself back into this race and get himself. Dylan somehow got a 3-second penalty there. I'm not really sure if that's warranted. Into the pits comes Mumford. So Mumford is rolling the dice. He is giving up track position here. Brabbit is also the pits. Well, I'm not surprised by Brabbit. He's been on those intermediate tyres for 10 laps on a dry track for 5 of those laps as well. So Brabbit then into the pits there, and it is going swimmingly well. Almost giving up, almost giving Gordo, giving for Gordo now. Come on, lad, then Serious Rush was saying, and yes, can Gordo get a podium here tonight in Silver? Brabbit is into the pits, and same with Sweet. Reflections, Dopey is in the pits as well, then, so they're all coming in the pits for fresh intermediate tyres. Safety cars at the top of the Camel Straight then. We have got about 2 laps to go in this race. Incredibly, four wet tyres for Dan. I think that they might. It is quite heavy rain out there now, isn't it? But I do think it's a bit too. I don't think there's enough puddles out there for the wet tyres at the moment. Reflections coming out of the pits there in a 9th position there, and he's on fresh tyres as well. Can the Golden Wolf get some points out on his debut? Dan back in the pits, and V Todd has stayed out, and V Todd might be able to salvage some points of what has been quite a horror show of a race. And same with Delando. Delando, of course, remember, was very much in control of this race until the rain came, and it's been a nightmare since then. But can Delando get himself back in this one? As Dan just serving a penalty there onto the intermediate tyres, and he comes back out now. Safety car out at the moment as we're going down at the bottom of a here then as well. Come on, Tango, with it off then. Finish me off, guys, goodness me. Whoa, it won't take long. Goodness me, guys, keep it PG. Actually, no, we're past the water shed then, so carry on, goodness me. Tango 60% of the vote, 40% for Gordo at this moment. And goodness me, two odds both choices does deserve it. Safety cars in the end of this lap. Then I think that Delando is too far back. Where is he? I think he's at the top of the hill. He is. So that's where I think he's too far back. Unfortunately, Reflections might just be Reflections. Golden Wolf and Dopey should catch it to the back. Then look at that rain. Now it's very heavy now. Then so this is going to get very, very good indeed. Then now as we get going, good heavens. Tango leads this race, going for a second Grand Prix win of the season then for Tango. Then Farf's got a 3-second penalty, so Farf, so he does have a buffer. Then Farf is going to have to get himself a move on now, isn't he? We'll have just 2 laps to go, lap 21 and lap 22 then to finish off this race. Look at how heavy the rain is. This is going to be absolutely, this is going to be very, very difficult to finish off this race. B Todd 24 seconds back at the moment. He might be able to salvage something. However, I think he needs some chaos to. Some chaos there up front then. Slayer, come on, Tango. Farf, and we're back racing. Farf has dropped off the back of Tango. Then Farf, of course, needs for some chaos to have him behind him as well, boys, because he's going to drop like a stone. He's going to drop out the points at this moment. Gordo's past Vessier. Gordo's up into 3rd position now. There's a car off in the background. I think that's Golden Wolf who's off. Brabbit now going up into 6th position there. Brabbit trying to salvage this race. He is going to be quick now, isn't he? Brabbit is the second highest runner on the new intermediate tyres along with Mumford, and here he comes, and he's flying. Brabbit is here. He is. Oh my goodness me. On board now then with Brabbit as we go to the top into Lake Com. And no change of position as well. Lap 21 out of 22, no DRS either, as the rain is really falling down. Vessier is struggling. Dan's out of this race, and Mr. Elite then also losing out in time as well. Brabbit is dropping down, and Sweet up the inside then, and going for a lunge there, and Sweet is just about kept it out of the wall. Yellow flag then for is that a safety car? Sweet is out of the race, and what's happened to Sweet then? And I'm not sure. I think that's Dan actually. It's not a safety car. I was like, why was there a safety car this late then? But Sweet out of the race. Golden Wolf back up into the points then. Oh my goodness me. So yes, there's a caution for for Dan, who's retired from the race, down to 13 runners and riders in this one. Tango trying to get on the power very gingerly here. What is going on here? Then and who's that? Mumford on the outside, on the inside here. He's going to just about keep him in play. Brabham is staying on the outside. Mumford on the inside, coming out pro Frere. And Brabham fifth for this. Is going to be a drag race up to Blanchimont into the bus stop as well. Goodness me, they can only just about fit a 10 pound over to each other. Contact there, and he's off the circuit and back on now. Is Brabham there as he's cut across that and Vessier then on the outside, and on the inside goes Mumford, then diving on the inside, and he's forced Vessier off the road, and Brabham's going to be on the outside and takes both of them there. Oh my goodness gracious me, Brabham is through and up into fourth position. Mumford is down into fifth. Vessier's going to be feeling a bit of grief with that, I think, there into the bus stop, and Vessier there. Oh, and who's that there? I think the Vessier's struggling there. He's being passed hand over fist, and Mr. Lee has got a 5-second penalty for going into the back of Vessier, I think. Vessier's on out intermediate compound tyres, and Brabham is on the cusp of a podium. What a recovery drive here from Brabham. Brilliant 17. Reflector's got a penalty there. Who is that? That is someone off, and Vessier's in the war in major speed. He's out of the Belgian Grand Prix on the final lap of this one. V. Todd may be able to get a point then. Mumford down into 9th position. Mumford and Vessier. I think we'll have to review that, but something has gone a bit awry there, hasn't it? Tango in leads the way with Farp in second. Gordo is in third there. Brabham in fourth, but Brabham is going to be up to a de facto third position here then. Reflections in fifth. Dopey in sixth. Mr. Elite seventh with Golden Wolf in eighth there. Mumford in ninth there. Something has happened to Mumford there. 10th is V. Todd. Brilliant drive from V. Todd. And Golden Wolf, unfortunately, has had to back out there. Gordo's lost out there, but he still has that. He cannot fight too hard here with Brabham, because Brabham's going to be back up to second and extend his lead in the World Championship. Then, so good stuff indeed there for Brabham. Horror show for Dilando. Tango is going to be up to second, I think, in the World Championship, if my maths does not deceive me. Goodness gracious me. As Tango is now then coming out to Blanchimont and up into the final bus stop then for the final time, and Tango is going to win the second Grand Prix win of the season and out of the bus stop chicane, and he wins the Belgian Grand Prix. What a fantastic race then for Tango. Second position was Brabham. Gordo in third. What an incredible end to that race then. Wow. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Mumford recovers to finish sixth. Far for that 3-second penalty has cost him a podium today. Dopey Lemons finishing in fourth. V. Todd there. Hats off to V. Todd for keeping going then, which has been a nightmare race for V. Todd, and he got a point now. Kaz and Dilando, the two drivers, then Reflections is retired from the session. I didn't see where he was, unfortunately. Was he? Where he was, to be honest. Whew. What an end to that race. That was absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Wow, that was pretty incredible indeed. That I've forgotten where Reflections and I can't remember who else finished now. Oh gosh, oh dear. Right. Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from that incredible Belgian Grand Prix. Tango gets driver of the day with Gordo second there was. Those are the only two drivers that got the votes in the driver of the day. Just shows how good both those drivers were today. Incredible stuff indeed. As Tango lofts the trophy, and I think that Tango is now second in the World Championship, but Brabham recovers to finish second today, which is very important in which is very important. It's a great recovery try from Browett when it was looking quite all doom and gloom at one stage here, wasn't it? But my goodness me, you can see there it's gone from gloom to beautiful sunshine. Let's take a final look at the classification from the race and here in Belgium. Tango with second win of the season, and Brabant a nightmare racer, a nightmare start, and then all of a sudden he finished second today. Gordo great drive to third with Dopey in fourth, and fifth position is Farf with Mumford in sixth. Mr. Lee is seventh. Golden Wolf is in eighth position, and it was Reflections and V Todd ninth and 10th, I think. Delando gets a bonus point for fastest lap, but I don't think that's going to be much consolation at the moment. And Kaz in 12th position. Retirements, we had a lot of them. Vessier, Sweet, Dan, Camero, Kaya, Irvine, Craigar, and Jin are all retired then from the Belgian Grand Prix. Absolutely outstanding stuff indeed in that race. My goodness me. Drama, action, what can you say? That was pretty incredible stuff indeed there. And I've got the men who finished first and second in this one. And let's talk to Tango first there. And Tango, brilliant drive today. That's your second win of the season. And I must say then that as soon as the rain came down, you just passed Farf almost instantly there to take the goal and win this race.
Yeah, I knew that there wouldn't be much of the DRS left, so I thought if I can use it at any point, now's the time to use it and try and get in front. So, quite happy. I wasn't sure about starting on the hards, but it seemed to work quite okay off the start. I still don't know how I went round the outside of two into Lecon, but you just take it.
My goodness me, and this is your second race win of the season now, and you've moved yourself up into second then. But Brabant did salvage second position today, but that's still 7 points off of the championship leader going into Zandvoort in a week's time.
Yeah, in the nicest possible way, he's like a smell that lingers. You think you think you've got rid of him, and then he comes back, and it's all worse. It's like what a drive to recover that. It's like I thought he'd basically messed up the whole race with that strategy call, but he's a good racer and he'll get back up there. So he's annoying. He's very annoying.
He certainly is there. But he certainly is there for you guys challenging at the top. Of course, and talking about that safety car where the rain was coming down, yeah, there's a lot of drivers that came into the pits quite early on. You stayed out for as long as possible, and I think Farf in the pits one lap earlier than you guys. Was you happy with your decision to stay out a lap later?
Yeah, I think it without the safety car at the end, which I think did change the result quite dramatically. I think the people that stayed out on the slicks, it was completely the right call because it seems to be that on this game there's a like a changeover period that they've implemented where it's like 5 or 6 laps where the tyre still holds on and it's just on the in between the inters and the slicks. So it just allows you that time, if you can, to just pull away and give yourself some fresh tyres, fresher inters.
And you mentioned about starting on the hard compound tires at the start of the race there. Was that thinking about the rain that was coming later on in the race, or was you thinking about going on, or was you thinking about a different plan with that?
Yeah, yeah. But message to anybody that encounters rain tomorrow: if we hadn't have had three safety cars, there was no way that those tyres were making it to that um, rain period. Absolutely no chance. They were nearly done by the end. They were done by the end of the stint. I think if there'd have been no safety cars and I'd have tried that, I'd have been on say 80-90% tyre wear. So I think if that happens for other people, I think you use your tyres and then you've got to make that stop that you see, say, Hamilton back in the past in 2018. He used the tyre advantage when it was in that crossover period to kind of get up. So I think that will be something that will by people because the tyres just won't hang on.
Fantastic. Drivers' point of view and Tango's technical tips as well. Magnificent stuff, then. And of course, then, as we go on to Zandvoort in a week's time, do you reckon you can get a second victory in a row there?
I mean, I'd like it, but it's not a sprint with you commentating on, so I don't think I'll win. Because won the other one where you commentated on. But anything's possible. We've just got to see what it can throw up. Very hard to overtake though. So I think if any moves do happen there, unless they're at turn one, you're gonna have to get creative. And to be fair, I don't mind getting a little bit creative. I don't mind getting my elbows out.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Fantastic. And I'm very happy about that because everyone said in the comments every time I commentate, he gets a DNF. So, so I got the opposite effect on you, Tango. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Great win today, your second win of the season. Brabbit, I must say that that race looked pretty terrible right from the get-go. From the start, you dropped from pole position all the way down into 6th or 7th position. Those hard tires didn't bite into the tarmac at all.
Yeah, the start was quite unlucky for me. I mean, I started from pole. I got a good start, so no wheel spin or anything like that. Clean turn one, and then yeah, I'm not sure. I think I had a little bit more wings than the others, and yeah, I got a little bit sandwiched, so I was braking a little bit earlier than necessary, and then another one sticked in from the inside, so it was just unfortunate. So I did not had any mistake in there. It just was a situation. I had one car in front of me, two left and one in the right, and yeah, I just wanted to come in a hole to the corner, so I sacrificed my pole there. But yeah, then the race was a little bit strange from again too much safety cars, and the last um, the last safety car saved me because in the last sector I got a puncture on the inters. The inters were just melting down. I have no idea how to read the weather in this game. Again, a mistake in the strategy, but luckily with the safety car I put on a new set of inters. Then I had a good drive, was a little bit aggressive, and yeah, maybe one or two laps more, and I could achieve the top spot. But with this race, with this yeah action on the track, I'm quite happy.
Oh, so because we was because when we was going through it, you came into the pits very early then because yeah, the track was bone dry. Did you think that the rain was coming under that safety car period?
Yeah, the forecast was raining, or the last 5 or 6 laps should be wet, and we had like two or three safety cars, so it should rain a little bit earlier. But yeah, um, the raindrops were coming when the safety car comes in, but again, I don't know how the weather is, uh, how you read the weather, because in Imola I was pitting too late and lost lots of positions, and in this race today I pitted too early when it was really wet. My tires were already gone like 50-60%. Yeah, just unlucky today. I have tried to improve somehow, but I think it's just the weather to when you can read it directly or you can read it correctly, you have such an advantage. But next time, I think the luck will be with me.
However, I would caveat that with it that you kept yourself in it to win it, because even though it wasn't looking too good with that difficult start, and then of course with that strategy where the rain took so long to come, and then the safety car came out when you had a puncture. My goodness me, you stayed in it and you got back up to second today. I'm going to ask you what lottery tickets you're buying because you seem to be absolutely incredible luck today. Fantastic. But more importantly, was you thinking about your championship campaign throughout this race today? Was you looking at Dilando? Was you looking at Tango? What was you thinking up there? How was you keeping a level head then when it was all seemed to be going wrong at the time?
This is the wrong way to see the season. So yeah, it was a good race today for the table, but we are only halfway through the season. The season is quite long, and you just have to think from race to race. So I just keep focus. I just try to keep the rhythm, and in the end we can talk again about this topic. But right now it's much too early.
Aha, you see, this is why I get too excited. This is why I don't drive. Fantastic stuff today, Brabbit. Brilliant job to second. And Gordo got
Thank
a
you.
third position as well. And Gordo, I must say that that was looking a pretty mighty drive. You went on softs there in the sprint then to elevate yourself up the grid order for the Grand Prix itself. Talk us about the sprint first.
I've had a sore throat over the past few days, by the way, so sorry if my voice sounds a bit strange. But no, it was. I can barely remember, to be honest. I started quite well, and they went off a lot by the end. And I think if there wasn't a safety car in that sprint, then I'd have been down the bottom, probably 11th, 12th. But the safety car kept me in it, and then I had a good battle with Farth as well. I enjoyed that. Unfortunately, got me at the end, but yeah, it was good. The sprint definitely set up the race to be for the podium.
It certainly did, and then to the race as well. By the way, don't worry about sounding strange, Gordo. I've always sounded strange, so don't worry about that. And Serious Mushrooms loving life in the comments as well, fantastic. But talk us about the race then, if you can. Three safety cars just before you even got to half distance there. How difficult is it to keep a level head then? Because there are so many things going on then. How difficult is it to determine what to do? Was you thinking about coming to the pits? Was you thinking about staying out? How did you make your decisions at the time?
There was one point, I think it was the last safety car where I considered going in for softs because I heard about the rain and thought, well, maybe I want to get in and might jump a few people, but I thought better of it, to be honest. And well, Mushroom helped me in the chat as well with the final decision. But at the end of the day, it is hard keeping concentration during those three safety cars, you know what I mean? Because it is quite boring driving around at what feels like a really slow pace, obviously, but it's just what you've got to do sometimes. It wasn't ideal, but hey ho.
And then when the rain did come, then how did you? It seems like you felt a bit more comfortable in the rain then, and it certainly helped you towards the end. Then was you happy when the rain came then? And did you feel that you could get a podium here? When did you really think you can get a podium in this race?
After the safety car, the final safety car when it was wet, um, I couldn't wait for the rain to come. To be honest, it was because it was right in that what's better, dries or inters, and you're not sure if you're doing the right thing or not. But I think at the end of the day, I made the right call. So yeah.
And do you think that this is going to be a start of a bit of a momentum swing for you? And maybe do you think you'll get some more podiums now going into Zandvoort and into the Italian Grand Prix in a couple of weeks? How are you feeling after this podium? You must be delighted.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I hope it's more to come. I mean, I would say I was in second last race at Hungary as well before a safety car came out, which helped people in fresher tyres catch up. So I'd definitely say my pace has improved quite a bit since the start of the year. Unfortunately, I still need to work in the qualifying a bit. I'm still down the bottom more often than not, but it's hopefully, yeah, more podiums to come. I doubt it, but hopefully.
Never say never. Thank you very much, Gordo. Thank you very much, Brabbit. And thank you very much, Tango, as well. Don't give Serious Mushroom credit. Goodness gracious me. He's also said noted as well for Tango's technical tips. And Brabbit as well there, who has extended his lead in the championship, but he's very much keeping his feet on the ground, isn't he, as we go on to Zandvoort next week. I think it is Zandvoort next week. I'll be back in the commentary box, unfortunately, for all you viewers of ears tomorrow night for bronze. So that is going to be cracking indeed there. We've got one more sprint event in Belgium. No F2 this week, by the way. So I can have Wednesday. What am I going to do on Wednesday? I don't know, to be fair, but I'll worry about that on Wednesday.